These are 5 tips for working with our files inside a Microsoft 365. And whether you are new to OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams, or if you've been using these tools for a while, understanding the collaboration features as well as how we can share and manage access can be confusing. So these tips will help you work with your files inside of the cloud with confidence. By the way, my name's Amy. Let's nerd out. We'll start off by introducing the key players. But if you are confident with the distinction between OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams, then feel free to skip ahead to this time here. Firstly, the original players were OneDrive and SharePoint. They were designed to help you store and manage files within the Microsoft ecosystem. And then in 2017, Microsoft reimagined the work environment and introduced Microsoft Teams. And this was designed to help the workplace adapt to the evolving work environment, going beyond just files and adding collaboration tools for messaging as well as meetings. So let's now break down each of these and look at their key functionality. So for OneDrive, we can think about this as your personal cloud storage. It's a place for you to store your own work files that are not connected with a team. And you can think about it as your own digital treasure chest. Now, OneDrive is easy to remember because we can think of one equals you. So it's for your own personal files. Then we have SharePoint. So SharePoint is your team's cloud storage, a structured space for your shared files as well as resources. And we can think of SharePoint as your team's digital library. Now, SharePoint is easy to remember because share equals team. So it's for your shared files for your team. And then we have Teams. So Teams is a centralized hub for communication and teamwork, bringing together your chats, your meetings, as well as your document sharing. We can think of Teams as the lively home of your digital workspace, and it is where the collaboration actually happens. So in summary, we have SharePoint as your team's digital library. We have OneDrive as your own personal digital treasure chest, and Teams as the lively home for your digital workspace. If you would like to learn more about the differences between these 3 key players, then check out the video that I've linked in the description. Let's take a look at the collaboration features, as there are a lot of advantages to having our documents stored within the cloud. For example, we can co-collaborate on the same document with multiple people at the same time. So I can see on the top right here that Mike is working within this document and he's on page 1. So if we select go to location, then that is going to take me to where Mike is working on this document. We can hover over the cursor and see Mike there. Another benefit is the ability to comment on specific areas. So for example, if I want to comment on this specific chunk of text here, then we can select it, and then I can select this little comment icon, or I can do so from the menu. So now we are able to attach a comment, but without disrupting the flow of the document. We are also able to use that at mention to notify a specific team member. So for example, I can press the at sign and search for Mike. There he is. We'll select him. And then now I can just add my comment. If I want to assign this as a task to Mike, then we can do so by selecting this box. Otherwise, this is just going to be a general comment that Mike will be notified, and we'll just see that notification via email down below. Once you have your comment set, then we can go and send. And now we have posted that comment to the document, and Mike is going to receive that notification. And as you use more comments within this document, we can manage all of our comments from this comments area on the top right here. Then we'll have a nice and neat summary, and you can use the filters and mark these comments as resolved so that you can keep everything neat and tidy. And finally, as your document evolves, you are going to create different versions of that document, and you may want to access those previous versions. In which case, we can go up to this catch up area here and go open version history. Then we can toggle to the different versions of our document from the right-hand side here, and we have some additional options. So we could save a copy, we could restore this version of the file, or we could select the ellipses over here and download this version of the document. So overall, When we store our files within the cloud, we unlock those collaboration features and ensure that everyone is working from the most up to date version. Now, let's take a look at how we can share our content. So, I will be demonstrating from within OneDrive, but you will have a similar experience of sharing content from within SharePoint. So, just note that your organization can define different policies for sharing content from SharePoint compared to OneDrive. So, you may notice some difference on your ability to share files, but the core features and functionality are the same. So, to share our content, we can do so at the folder level, but we can also do it at the file level. And to do so, we can hover over a file and select the share icon. We can select the three dots and then go share. So, this opens up our sharing window where we can add someone's name. We could define a 365 group and invite an entire SharePoint site, or we could add a specific email address. On the right-hand side here, we have the different access options. So this is what that person or a group of people are going to be able to do when they access this document. So the least restrictive is they can edit the document, then they are able to just review the document and suggest changes. The third one here is they can view the document, but they can't make any changes. And then the most restrictive is they can view it, but they are not able to download it. So you can define whatever type of access you want to give to your document. Then we can add a message here and we can click send to send that person an email. Alternatively, we can copy a link and share it with people directly. And we also have some additional settings for managing that type of access. So we can select that gear icon, and then now we have unlocked some additional sharing settings. So this is where we can define who we want to share our document or folder with. And what you see here might look a little bit different to what you have as far as the options go. But for me, I can share this with anybody. I could create a link for only people within my organization. I could create a link to share with people that have existing access. So if somebody already has access to this document, but for some reason they can't find the file, then you could generate a link with this option here. And the last one here is people you choose. So here I can specify those people inside or outside of my organization using their name, group, or email. So that's what we had on that previous page. At the bottom here, we have those access options, and we also have an expiration date, which is really helpful to define so that we're not granting people unlimited access. So once you have defined your sharing options here, then we can click apply, and then now we can go and copy that link and we can share it with people directly so that they can access our content. Now we are going to take a look at how we can manage the access to our files and folders. So we can hover over a document that we want to manage our access for. We can select those three dots, and then we can go down to manage access. So this is where we can view the people that have access to this file. In this case, it is just myself, and I am the owner of this file. If this document was shared with a group, then we would be able to view those groups here, and we can manage the access there. And then finally, we have links. So this is where you can view all of the links that you have created to share this file. So we can expand the little gear icon on the right-hand side here. And we can see that people in your organization with the link can view. We can then see that those settings are down here. But if we wanted to change this, then we can always remove this link and create a new link. Additionally, we can back out of here. And if we decide that, we don't want to be sharing this document anymore with anybody, then we can go up to stop sharing on the top right here, go stop sharing again. Then now this is going to remove all access except for the owners of the file. A quick pause in today's video to say that my ebook, Navigating Microsoft Passages, is available for free for you to download. Inside, you will find a treasure map to help you navigate Microsoft 365 apps with confidence, increase your productivity and efficiency, and reclaim your time for meaningful work. I will include a link in the description, so be sure to grab your copy today. Now we are going to take a look at how we can manage access within SharePoint. So here I am in that sales SharePoint site, and we can hover over a file or folder. select the three dots, and then we can go manage access. So this opens up that similar area that we were just in within OneDrive. However, because we are within SharePoint and this sales SharePoint site is connected to a 365 group, which is where we defined owners and members for the SharePoint site, we are going to have a few differences within this access area. So for example, under groups, we can see the different groups of people that have access to this content. Now, this is pulled here by default. So you'll see that we have the owners of the SharePoint site. Just note that we have modern SharePoint and legacy SharePoint, but these are essentially the same thing. We also have visitors as a group, and they are able to view the files. So if people have been added as a visitor, they can view this content, but they can't make changes. And then we have our members. So this SharePoint site members, by default, they are able to edit this file. Now, if you want to make a change to any of the access here, then we can select the group. We can expand the access type, and you could adjust it. So you could say, hey, this group of people can view the file, but they can't make any changes, or they can view the file, but they can't download. And there's also an ability to remove the access here. So no direct access. You can make your changes and then you can click apply. So that is the key difference when we look at managing access to files or folders within SharePoint. But the other features that are available here are still the same as we looked at within OneDrive. Now we are going to take a look at file actions. So when we hover over a document here, we can select the ellipses and we'll have a menu appear. So this is all of the different available features that you have for this document. For example, this one at the top here, which is open, by default, when you open up this file, it is going to open in the browser. But if you want to open it up in the app, then you can select open in the app, and then that Word desktop application will open with this file. Now, the second item that I wanted to highlight here is this move to. So in this case, I'm working in my OneDrive right now, and I have a draft document. But this document is ready to be shared with the team, and I want to give everyone access to this document and move the location of this file into SharePoint. So we will select the three dots here. We will go move to, and then now we can define where we would like to move this document to. So in our case, I'm just going to select the Project A SharePoint site. I'm going to pop this into that design folder, and then we will go move here. So moving files changes their location so that you can change who has access to that file or folder. The next action that I want to show you is the ability to copy documents to a new location. So in our case, I have a bunch of files in this folder here, and I want to copy them so that the originals stay here, and then we create a copy in a new folder. So we can navigate to the documents or folder that we want to copy, and then we can select them. And then now this time we are going to go up to copy to. Here we can select our new location from the left navigation, but in our case, I'm just going to use the breadcrumbs to navigate up one folder level. I'll select the Easter Dog Show location, and then we will go copy here. So we'll see that we are copying 3 items. They have now been copied, and we can open up that new location to view our newly created documents. So overall, there are a lot of different action items available, but I find that these 3 are the most helpful when we are getting started with managing our documents within either OneDrive or SharePoint. If you found these tips helpful, then hit that subscribe button to receive notifications on future videos. Then you can watch this video here, which compares SharePoint versus OneDrive versus Teams.